Hey guys, Desolator Magic here with some M20 spoilers. And you're probably like, Stobish Kasale? Well, some of you might say that. But yeah, I believe next week is supposed to be the M20 spoilers, but as is the norm, they, leaked. I don't know if that's even the right term, but they sent some ahead of time promos to get people all excited about spoilers. And there were actually 3 cards sent to Gizmodo. But first, for a little context, this is the box up on screen here in case you haven't seen it. It looks like Chandra about to, boop the nose of some reptile-looking ghost thing. It looks like a ghost dragon other than Ugin, so that'll be interesting. So Chandra is originally, of course, from Kaladesh, and they don't have any ghost dragons there that I know of, but I'm no lore expert. It does seem like more of a Theros thing. So it's not clear what plane or planes this takes place on, but remember, the core sets are usually like the flashback clip episode filler things of the magic lore. I'd say like old timeline, new details is probably the best way to put it. So not much to go on there, but the suspicion of everybody on the internet is that it will heavily feature Chandra, and it looks like it will because we've actually got 3 Chandras, so let's work our way up in rarity. So first we've got the uncommon Chandra. So it's Chandra, Novice Pyromancer. Elementals you control get +2/+0 until end of turn. Not bad. I mean, that could be a lot of damage. Now, you might think that's a little specific, and it kind of is, but get this. I was shocked by this. There are 26 elementals legal and standard right now. Most prominently, I'd say, is the horses, the 5 horses from the horse cycle. So 10 of the elementals are red, and by the way, one of them is Runaway Steamkin, the most problematic card in red right now. Awesome. And she only costs 4. That's pretty reasonable for that deck. Plus, Catalyst Elemental, the sack it and generate more red, is legal too. So, ooh. And speaking of that, her -1 is add 2 red mana to your mana pool. Their new standard Oracle text format is to stop saying to your mana pool, but too bad, I'm going to keep saying it. And then she doesn't really have an ult, but she also doesn't have a passive. So this is like a hybrid from what they did in War of the Spark. Very strange. So -2, she deals 2 damage to any target. So she's 1 ability away from just being the generic utility Chandra. So the +1 is super specific and all the rest are negatives. I don't know about that, but she does come out with 5 loyalty for 4, and I think like they knew that. They knew her +1 was crap. They knew that people would just use the negatives, so that's what they did. By the way, wow, is that artwork inaccurate? I mean, she legit looks like native Alaskan. I thought they were going for Irish. I don't know. You know how they draw planeswalkers. There's 0 consistency. They got Teferi to look like Charlie Murphy and Kanye in the same set. That's amazing. So I think she's good in mid-range red. I think she'll be good in like a Dragon's deck with, what's-his-face, Sarkhan. And I don't know, other than that, Elemental Tribal, I guess. So next up we got Rare Chandra, which is Chandra Acolyte of Flame, and she looks like Carrie Byron. I mean, I guess it's technically more accurate, but let's be honest, it ain't her. So this is a 3 cost, which is always a problem, 4 loyalty, which is even worse, version of Chandra, and it looks like she has no positive, but her 0 ability is put a loyalty counter on each red planeswalker you control, which would include her, so it's basically a +1, although it's not a double +1 like Huatli. And then her second 0 is create 2 1/1 red elemental creature tokens, so there you go. And you can have those 2 different Chandras in play now because of a stupid rules change about 2 years ago. So they gain haste, sacrifice them at the beginning of the next end step. So they're not 3/1s, but that would be like completely bonkers out of control crazy. But if you're going to play elementals, go for it. You know, it looks like elementals are going to be one of the primary themes of the set, at least in red. And then probably, I would guess, in blue as well, because that's usually where they also put them. So if you're one of those speculator types, any rare or higher red elemental, I would buy it right now. I just checked that I'm literally just describing Runaway Steamkin, and that's it. And I don't know if that could honestly even go much higher. The red elemental horse is only uncommon, and I still think that Amplifier is garbage. But hey, I mean, it's 25 cents and the pre-release foil is 35 cents, so you do you. So her -2 is you may cast instant or sorcery cards with converted mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard. Yay! If that card would be put in your graveyard, this turn exile instead. So in other words, grant them flashback, but nobody knows what that means. So I mean, you still gotta pay for them, but 3 is cheap enough for a burn deck, and to get them all back and just launch them, oh boy. I mean, remember, we've basically got Lightning Bolt legal right now in Standard, so this could get real ugly real quick, so I already don't like her. So the third Chandra is the mythic one. It's Chandra, Awakened Inferno. And that's kind of accurate. She kind of got a man chin a little bit, but that does look like her. So this is a 6 cost, 6 loyalty, which already puts her into like Liliana territory, which, I mean, yeah, Liliana's like game ending, but she still costs 6. So if she's in your opening hand, she's useless, but she will dominate the game. So I have a feeling this one will be just as powerful, but not, 4 of in every red deck, you know what I mean? So this spell can't be countered. I mean, I've said it before, we kind of do need more of that. Just, why did it have to be red? So you ready to go straight to Crazyville? +2. Each opponent gets an emblem. So you just drop her in, can't be countered, and here, have an emblem. That's nice. At the beginning of your upkeep, this emblem deals 1 damage to you. So, this card. It's like Wizards of the Coast has a list of the most hated things in all of Magic. Emblems is one of them. And now they're like, well, we already did that. We already did slivers. We already did, that. We did this. We did this. What haven't we done yet to piss people off? Oh, emblems. And you know what? Let's make it not an alt. And no way to stop it. It's not quite true. You can cast Repudiate and stop the ability once. Hey, speaking of once, you can use this more than once. So you drop her in, get her to 8 loyalty with that +2, and then the very next turn you can hit him with another emblem. That's absolutely f***ing ridiculous. So the only deck I can think this would automatically slot in just based on that first ability is a 3-color Bolas deck, and it would be a finisher. And honestly, that deck's so, control heavy and drawn out, which is why, okay, the emblem would make sense, but it's so powerful already, I don't know if it even needs this level of help. So hopefully nobody will play this, but I bet some people will. And remember, there's no way to get rid of an emblem. In fact, if you're playing multiplayer and somebody tags you with an emblem and then they lose the game, the emblem is still on you. Despite ownership rules, which is ridiculous. So there is literally no way to get rid of an emblem minus one thing, which is restart the game. So 1 card, Karn. That's the only one I know of, and it's like the original Karn, the old school one that says restart the game. So anyway, her -3 is she deals 3 damage to each non-elemental creature, because we're doing that. For -3, I mean, I get it, it's kind of like a sweeping removal that doesn't theoretically affect your creatures if you built the deck right, but I don't know, doesn't seem that great, but I mean, it is each creature, so I mean, you could board wipe them. But, I mean, you better be worried about a 6/6 trampler coming at her, and this doesn't do anything to get rid of it. But her -X, so technically she doesn't have an alt, but, well, she does. It's her plus ability. It's Chandra, Awakened Inferno, deals X damage to target creature or planeswalker. If a permanent dealt damage this way would die this turn, exile it instead. So she does kind of have point removal, and after +2ing, if you want to keep her safe, you can 7 damage something and then exile it. So, yeah, that's not bad. We really needed more -X. I think that's kind of like a good scalable fun thing to put on planeswalkers. But that said, that +2 is unforgivable. This is just a bullshit card. So remember the dinosaur, the red one that they banned, saying that it's too unfair to have a card that says you can't, or your opponents can't gain any life against red? Well, the only thing that's going to save you from these emblems is life gain, and a lot of it, and oh, that's right. We have a planeswalker whose passive ability says all opponents can't gain life. At least he doesn't generate elementals, but that card's quite annoying. So this really pisses me off, and honestly, that +2, you need to let this Chandra card be countered. That's ridiculous. They put that clearly on the wrong card. What we need is a board wipe that can't be countered. That's what I want. Make it black-white, let me blow everything straight to hell, and say it can't be countered. So we're 3 cards into M20, and from what I'm hearing online, everybody's already pissed off. Not just me, everybody. They're looking at this and they're like, what the hell do you mean +2 emblem? Non-legendary can't get rid of an emblem that stacks up every turn. Are you f***ing kidding me? So those are your M20 spoilers so far. Let me know what you think. Are you as pissed off at this ridiculously broken crap as I am? A couple other things that I should throw in. This is 127 out of 280, it looks like. So this set is going to be absolutely huge, which I suspect is their way to get these cards worth more because they're diffusing each individual single. Core sets always sell like crap. It's so reprint heavy and there's no central theme. People just usually want a couple cards out of it. Nobody opens it. Distributors get stuck with it. It's just a bad product. And they brought it back for who knows what reason. Even they don't know what reason. I mean, the reasons they stated were illogical, contradictory BS. So thanks, Wizards. So it would appear that they made this, about 25 cards bigger, which isn't much, but we'll see, just to make there be less of every individual card, which, I mean, it's manipulative, it's annoying, it makes the game less playable, but they're taking a horrible product and just trying to help it out a little bit. I mean, they can make artificial scarcity of all the cards when the reason that the cards are so low is that nobody wants them. I mean, if there's no demand, like, okay. I have way more of a problem that it's like $22 a land to build Demirs, so you need $88 just to start the deck. If I remember correctly, those are just the shocks. The other ones bring it up to like 120 something just to build the deck. Not even counting the rest of the deck, just the mana base. 8 cards, $120 some. It's ridiculous. I'm actually hoping they put the shocks in here. Now, what we do know from the last core set is that they like to take huge money reprints that have zero standard playability, basically, and throw them into the core sets. And that's using 2 cards as an example, Crucible and Scapeshift. But assuming that that's a pattern and a strategy, and they did say things, they made like press statements that seem to support that that's what they intended to do, was put money reprints in the core set. I think we'll be seeing that. So take your best guess down below what you think they will reprint in Core Set M20 that will have little to no impact on standard, but that's like a huge money card. Because it's either going to be that or lands or both. I'm actually going to take a totally wild guess. I said I want the shock lands in here. I don't think they actually realistically will be. You know, as much as it would be nice to get a price break on them now. I'm going with the ultimate long shot. They're going to print a full cycle of Grove of the Burn Willows. So if you're not familiar, it's a future sight rare, and it's just tap to add 1 generic, cool, or tap to add 1 of 2 colors to your mana pool, then each opponent gains 1 life. So it's like a pain land, but safer. So yeah, people have wanted a full cycle of these since, you know, future sight. So they could stick them into the core set. It wouldn't even technically be a reprint except for Grove of the Burn Willows, but boy, would those be valuable. The problem is, the core sets aren't open very much. So the supply of these brand new, never before seen cards, mixed with the fact that they would be in standard, you could be looking at $50 a card, and then standard would be impossible to play. It would be far too expensive, like way worse than Khans of Tarkir with the fetch lands. So it would be a disastrous nightmare and a terrible idea. It would just ruin the affordability of standard. It would be one of the dumbest things they could ever possibly do. So obviously they're probably going to do it. It's either that or they'll make them and stick them in Modern Horizons 2. But anyway, that's my long shot guess. I think they're going to just totally YOLO it, and we'll see. Oh, and remember, they could always reprint this with a different name and take out the generic, because they literally just did that. You know, with like another land cycle. Like literally in Modern Horizons. So they could just leave the tap for mana, give your opponent 1 life, and that's it. That's your only option. I feel like that would still sell for a buttload of money. I mean, Legacy and Vintage players would probably want that. So what do you think will be an M20? Speculate like crazy down in the comment section. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next video.